Niaje wase. TapTap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send money quickly at the best rate. Hassle-free. Available in the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium and Germany. Too mucky too.
The whole time I'm talking. Poleni sana. My co-host. Munaniambia kama muniski. Good afternoon, good evening. And I think most of you are here in Europe. Welcome. I can see we have a powerful women here on the stage. So we are looking forward to get started. And as soon as we see some of you joining in slowly sharing you on your platform. We have been joined to have a very, very powerful women. Today topic ni ya wanawake. You know, we are talking in Kenya now, eh? Tuko wanawake. It's about wanawake politics and involvement. What does it mean? And the panelists here today, as you can see, they are only women, eh? We thought of, you know what? Let's put women on the table, because some of us, we think women, when they are put on the table on their own, they speak louder than when they are mixed with everybody else. Yeah. Now, yesterday was youth. If you missed it, it was a very great discussion run by Victoria and Katha from Denmark. And we are here today with women of all from different angles, and more are coming. We have not even full house. This house will be full. So share. Welcome everyone. I can see messages. I can see hi ladies, hi Ivory, welcome. And all of us who are listening here, share. All you need to go is to go to our Facebook. We're also live on YouTube as well. We're gonna share with you as well on the chat, and tell us where you're listening us from as well. And we are also on my own profile, the African Women in Europe profile. We are also on at the Kenyan Diaspora Union of Organizations in Europe. And most of you are wondering, what is all this about? Yes, it's about Kenya. It's about elections that are coming. It's about us, diaspora, given the opportunity finally to go voting. And we are here to campaign women to Taachwa. At Kenya, if you are in Kenya right now and you're a woman in Kenya, tag those women in Kenya. They need to go and register, because as we speak right now, registrations are going on all over the country in Kenya. And here in diaspora, they're starting on Friday, the day after tomorrow. Countdown has started. As you can see there, we have very powerful women are put up there. You can see we have great women here in Europe, and it's all about voting, and we want you to go do that. And we're going to share the link. Come out, you haven't booked yourself, because there's a lot of information. It's about registering, and we'll give you that on top. But today, before we go even more discussion here as we wait for the rest of the people to join, let's start introducing ourselves. Who are these women? One called Tante Africa, another one, Agnes Florish, Pastor Dorcas here. You can hear the house is full. We have powerful women, and most of these women are in Germany, and we're also going to be joined with one from Sweden as well. But we want to reach out to all of you there, wherever you are. Share as much as with your friends. Tell us also where you're listening us from. So I'm Joy. I'm going to start with myself. I'm the founder of African Women in Europe, and also the chair lady of the Awe Diaspora Circle that has been there since last year, April. And we have very, very excited to be part of the people investing in Kenya, in entrepreneur, and also in so many activities. I'm also the founder of Africa Women in Trade, women who are in business in Africa, supporting women doing trading. And we women, they do a lot of things. So I can stop there because the list can be long. And ask Tante Africa, why Tante Africa? And introduce yourself. You're muted today. I think we are all muted. Unmute yourself.
Good. Now you can hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. First, I want to take this chance, Joy, to thank you for the effort, man. You've been such an inspiration. You're doing things like thank you so much even for hosting us today so that we can empower each other. For those who don't know me, I'm Patricia Wamboi. I come from Kenya and I'm based in German, in Bayern. Yeah, and since 2019, I formed a group called Tante Africa Talk Show. And as you have asked me before, why Tante? And, as we all know, Tante in German, that's mean auntie. And so it just happened that most of my friends who have, with kids and all that, they started calling me Tante, or, I'm somehow, very disciplinarian when it comes to kids and all that. So they would say, to be a Tante, and everything started like that because of the chamas of our mama. And so the name Tante came, and nikaichukulia, and I'm so happy about it. And for me, when I started the group Tante Africa Talk Show, was I wanted us to talk of the good things that are happening in Germany. I remember there was a wave of a young man who had stolen a bicycle. He was a black man who had stolen a bicycle. And the wave was everywhere in the newspapers of the small town this young man came from. And it was like, that's the only thing we are known of. And amongst myself, I had people that are really doing great things to integrate in this country. And I felt like maybe people don't know that there's another side of us Africans, because we have people who have great shop, we have people who have restaurant. I've done a video of, the first Kenyan girl to have a school, a kindergarten in Germany. And when I look at all those things, I felt like these things, people don't know about them. And that's why I decided I'll take it upon myself. I go around Germany to show people, so that when people go in internet and ask, about Africans in German, they can see those videos of the great things that we are doing. And I've been going around doing that, and I'm still very much, willing to do more so that the people can have another wave of we African people doing great things in this country. And here we are with women that have interlocked somewhere in one group of another. So I love women so much because I know the power in us. When we hold each other hand, we can do great things. And happy to be here. And I love politics.
Oh, then you're in the right place right now.
Very,
I'm
very
so
much.
glad that you made it, because we need to hear that word part, and that is coming. I want to tell you, it's very rare we hear women in politics, but let's hear the women who are in the ministry of the pastor. Welcome, Pastor Dorcas. Introduce yourself. Let us know where you are. We normally have Pastor Manyanga. Honestly, these are really beautiful pastor. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Joy. I'm so humble. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate for this cause, and what you're doing is so amazing. I don't know whether I'm loud and clear.
Yes,
It's so
we can hear you
amazing
well.
what you're doing at, collecting people, especially all parts of Africa, collecting women, do different things at the same time. You're just awesome. You're just awesome. I love the energy and the power that you have. And I know it's just a gift from God. So just to introduce myself, I want also to thank all the others, ladies, for joining. Also, thank you so much for taking your time and be part of this platform this afternoon. My name's Pastor Dorcas Wanjiro Ogombe, and I love God as my personal savior. As you said, the Pastor Manyanga, I'm not a Manyanga as I look, but I know it's just the grace of God that has kept me who I am today.
Yeah.
So for me, actually, I've been here long enough, and I felt my journey has been interest journey in things of God, and I found that it is a calling that's to stand in a gap for our fellow Kenyans, for our fellow Africans, and by the grace of God, that has been my desire, and that's what I've been doing, to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ all over, not only in Germany, but specific. I'm being called in this nation, so I take it as a privilege from God that to bring me here into Germany and to set a platform and to set me in a ground that really needs God and really needs to be minister. It's not so easy, but by the grace of God, me and my husband, we have been serving. We are having a ministry that is Springs of Joy International Ministry. We are based actually, our ministry is in Mannheim right now, for those who are living nearby, and also in Berlin. And by the grace of God, we are moving forward. We will love to move all over the Germany and preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, because we believe, or I do believe, that is the main purpose that God brought me here in Germany, just to be an ambassador of Jesus Christ. That's all about me. I am a mother of 4 children, and I participate in many things. We have table banking also. Not a ministry. We are not only just preaching about the gospel of Jesus Christ, but we do a lot also. We have also, apart from the Springs of Joy International Ministry, we have also Vision, Dorcas Vision Ministry there, where we deal with the widows back at home, where we educate widows. We take them to school different, like last time we took them to training like tailoring, and then we offer them machines from here, Germany, clothes, and starting business for them back home in Kenya. So as a ministry, we also participate in a lot of things. Definitely we pray for our nation. That's why we are here, because we want to participate, to see even part of the politics. We are also involved because also God is the center of everything. So thank you so much for having me this evening.
Thank you as well for being there. It's so important that we also nourish ourselves spiritually, and you're doing amazing work in that area. And when I heard you also pastor, I was like, the other day I was like trying to find pastors in Germany, because they were needed in Kenya for some activities, and I was saying, wow, where were you the whole time? And I'm so happy because of the networking, the power of networking, getting to know each other, and this movement of the election has really brought most of us together. We have to say, these are very big privilege for all of us to finally find each other, and the connection is amazing. I've done this for 15 years, and I agree with you. The power of working together is the key of it. So I'm gonna go straight, and I can see we have been joined from the women from the Sweden. Welcome, Chebet. We're gonna go
Thank
straight
you.
to you shortly. As we are in the introduction moment, you're also waiting one more guest. We have a full house, guys, and I can see you're all here coming in, telling us hi, sister. Who is that? From Lynn. Welcome, Dorcas. Listening from Scotland. Wow, karibu sana. We have Dorcas there as well, also checking on the whole event as well. Hi, girls. Mary, welcome everyone listening from Switzerland. Tell us where you're listening us from. We want to have an engaging discussion here, even if it's only women, it's okay. So men, you're allowed to come in. Today we are talking politics for the first time, women. nothing else. So this is gonna be very interesting discussion. I hope we'll keep to politics at the end. So Biashara, we are just women who are really motivated with so much. So welcome, Agnes. You were here the other day, but maybe some people who are here who didn't get to know you, introduce yourself. Tell us, what are you doing in Stuttgart in Germany? Welcome.
Oh, right. Yeah, as you said, I'm Agnes Kimathi Fröhlich, and I live near Stuttgart, actually a few minutes from Stuttgart town. I'm not directly in Stuttgart town because I'm a Shamba girl. I love living in the village. And and I'm a mother of 5. I love politics, and I'm from Kenya as well. I've lived here the last 23 years, but I'm deeply a Kenyan, and so that's why I'm so excited to be part of this, part of the political arena as well. Even if I'm not direct in Kenya, I know if I would be in Kenya, I would be fighting for some chair somewhere in the parliament because because politics is a very vital part of our country, and women should be there. Women should be there in numbers, and that's why I'm so happy to see that it's somehow coming up. Even us in diaspora, we are not forgotten. We've gotten this chance. Normally, I sing gospels. If you look for my songs, if you want to hear some, you'll find me. I don't go under alias. If you look for Agnes K. Fröhlich on YouTube, you'll find some of my songs. Not all of them, but some of them. And I have been preaching, singing, and I have been having a shop in near Stuttgart. It's resting right now. We respect the COVID situation. Maybe it will come back when things get better. And what else do I do? Yeah, I'm moderating Aggie's live talk show on Radio RFM in Stuttgart, Germany. I talk about life that affects the diaspora and women and men and children and youth. So, of course, Tante Africa, you can understand this, Terra. You know, what we are doing is very vital because our lives in Europe or in diaspora is as important. Sometimes we feel we are minority and we are ignored. And so it's good to know, to keep touch with others and know what's happening. Yes, I think, yeah, that's all in a nutshell. Otherwise, I'll be talking too much. Thank you for having me this evening.
It's a pleasure to have you. And I think we have the politician in the house. You heard she wants to go for a seat in Kenya. Hey, we have someone already from Norway coming from Norway. And Chebet will be telling us, the lady who is also going for a seat from diaspora in Taita Taveta, Madam Rachel Mwakazi. And I'm not going to spill out there. That's the Swedish people, the Scandinavia people are also represented well here. Hi, Chebet, welcome. Introduce yourself. Tell us how it is down there in the cold region, colder than Germany. But before we go there, let's see what are the people we want to engage with you. Wow, getting you all the way, my dear ones. Karibu Sana. I can see Lily there joining from Berlin. Yes, thanks, Pastor Dorcas, for the invite. Share. We need to make sure we reach more women. Team Joy Awe. Oh my goodness, I got a team. Pastor Dorcas, all of you, see you. Wow, I love you all, our strong ladies. Yes, even you're a strong woman. And I believe every woman has something to offer. Every woman. And I want to thank you, everyone, for coming, and keep throwing those discussions. Join as we speak, as we present ourselves here, because it's actually all of us. You want to have it engaged. I want to know what you people think about politics and all that. But before we go there, let's finish this round of introduction. So welcome, Queen Lady from Sweden, Madam Chebet. Welcome. You're all queens.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. So my name is Chebet Keter. I'm based in Sweden, Stockholm. And I'm the founder and chair lady of Kenya Women in Scandinavia. I've lived in Stockholm for the past 15 years. And I'm a secondary school teacher. So I teach in Sweden. Secondary school is actually teenagers from 12 to 15 years. So the tough ones. So I'm the one who is trying to shape their minds and trying to impact some mind in them. So I'm really happy to be here. In Kenya Women, we do a lot of things, but I'll just mention a few. The most important one is actually working with the mental health issues, which is a common thing in this part of the world, or rather it's spoken of a lot here. And we try to assist Kenyans who have such problems. We try to ensure that they get some help instead of being neglected to be on the streets. And that is what we do mostly, apart from, of course, organizing the social events and making sure that each and every Kenyan's rights are actually respected in this country. So, yeah, I'm really happy to be part of this team, which is a team of strong women. And as somebody, one of my sisters there said, if she was in Kenya, then she would be holding some seats. I think I would be a governor, maybe Kericho. So I think I should be warning them in advance that I'm on my way there. Yeah, so I'm happy to be here. Let me end it there. As, I know that we'll still continue chatting.
Thank you, thank you. I love that. I think we have governor of, I think it's Meru, Agnes. Yeah, and governor of, you said from where?
Now Kericho, that is.
Oh dear, guys. Tante, governor of where?
Kiambu County.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And Dorcas, what governor would you go for in Kenya? I
Me,
love
I'm
this.
being born and raised in Mombasa, so definitely I could just go back to Mombasa and
The whole country. You've taken everything. Then I'll be the governor of Nairobi.
Oh, goodness.
Thank you so much. This is getting very interesting because it's all about politics. We want to understand how you and also who are listening out there, give yourself a queen and give yourself a governor. Why not? Why not? Everything is reachable. As I was always being brought up by a family that very strong faith, and we always be told there's nothing big, there's nothing elephant, and with that makes us go to even much higher. And I want to share that with all of you women out there. So I'm going to go to a few questions that we had put together that we want to have an engagement here. We just have like a popcorn. Everybody can answer. Well, let's do a market thing here. Not like if you feel you have something, just throw it up and then we see how far we can go with this. And because we want to understand what does voting mean to you as a Kenyan woman, especially in Europe. I know you all want to be governor there, but what does voting mean to you especially being a Kenyan here and you're being given that opportunity as well? How does it mean to you personally? I'll go straight to Tante and then it goes like that. Anyone who wants to answer?
Now, spontaneously, I can start if it's all right.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so voting for me as a Kenyan woman who is living in Europe, it means a lot. It means that I'm voting for a president who will really ensure that there is good health, that is healthcare, which is very important. Because in most cases, if you've been to Kenya recently, then you realize that most of the people are sick and then the hospitals are not top notch. So I would be, it means improving the healthcare. Then it means also improving the housing, because we as women are the ones who make sure that each and everyone actually have a home. So it means improving the housing and then the social life also, and education. We would ensure that each and every child receives very good education, and it's education of quality, education which is accepted all over the world. That is what voting means to me, because if I don't vote, then of course my chances of voting for somebody who can ensure that all these things are achieved become minimal. So it's very important for each and every woman in Europe to vote so that we can improve all those things. That is healthcare, education, housing, and even the social life, eradicating corruption, then having a stable economy. So that's what it means to me. It's a golden opportunity for me.
Great. Just throw in your comments as you go, as you feel like, unmute and let's answer this question. What does voting means to you as a woman, a Kenyan woman?
Let me, I will not touch what she has said, because some of the points, actually all of them is what I had. But for me, mostly is that when I vote and I'm here in Germany, and It is to see that I am not, I'm not, closed from, the door is not closed for me. I still have a say to say and exchange ideas, because what they have in Africa is not what we have here. But when I'm in the table, I'm able to exchange with them and give ideas and development that I would want to see. I give maybe just one example. As anytime I see, all these people coming to us, selling these nice houses and telling us you should buy, because they want us to invest, and we are the big investors on those houses in Kenya. But when I look at those things, sometimes I see a disaster waiting for us, because we are building a country full of stones. We don't engage on trees. We don't tell them the importance of trees. When somebody builds like 20 acres full of stones without one tree, such things, it is a disaster in waiting. And if we compare like the country we are in, Germany, where trees are very important, even cutting one tree, it is a problem. You have to undergo a lot. But back in our home, they are still far away from this reality that is really going to develop. So as much as we want, to develop our country, we need to share with them ideas that we are seeing here back home in Germany, in Europe, that can help us in future. Because at the end of it, we'll all retire there. So if we don't keep engaging them, if we just feel like I'm in Europe, it doesn't concern me. But at the end of it, everybody, most of us, we want to retire there. So when you go there and you try to bring these ideas when you're there, you'll get tired very fast, because you don't have that mind. We are not creating that mind when we are still here, so that when we go back, we will find a platform that is also good for us. And those are the things that I feel like, if we are on the table, if we vote and we feel like they know that in Europe, there's a group of people that keep voting the government, we are able to negotiate and say, we voted for this government, and these are the changes that we would want to see. It may not come in a bulk, but if you do literal, like the people who go for those licenses of building that house, they should be told, you build your stones, but in each one house you build, we want to see 2 trees. Where they will grow, we don't care. But we want to see trees on those houses. And those are the changes I want to see personally. Because anytime I see them complaining and I hear that, we still have our MPs coming for tour here in Germany, you wonder, what do they come to tour for? Now they were complaining about KFC potatoes. They are not being bought. And I'm like, my dear ones, that is a brand. It has to stick to what it has. You cannot change them. What we need politicians that will come here in Germany, tour, and know that the potatoes can be made chips that can be freezed. They can be made of powder that people can use and make, food for babies. And you go buy them. So it's not only the potatoes we know, cooking them with water and oil. There are other ways that can develop. And those are the politicians we want. When we see them here, we want to be asking them questions. What are you touring here? Why are you in Europe? We voted for you people. We voted for the government. When you send us those people here, what do they come to do here? They don't just need to come and see Brandon Bugatua and make photos and buy, the best shoes, and they go back. We want them to come, use our tax money to come and learn and bring development back home. So let me give others, as we continue.
Wow. I think we should be voting for you.
You see me? Governor.
Each one of you, Governor, I think I'm voting for you. But unfortunately, we can only vote for president. So you need to go higher than governor, guys.
We are going.
So I am so delighted you are saying the right thing, value-added products. I cannot even emphasize on that. It's something that I am very passionate of, and you touched a very good word. If potatoes, why don't we add value on them? And it's so important for that. So I'm going to ask the same question as well to Pastor Dorcas, and tell us, what does voting mean to you? And also for the women in the church when they go to vote. So this is something we cannot underestimate, especially in Kenya. We value religion. Religion, I mean, it's like the first part before even you go to politics, right? So it's very much related. So how do you see this as well, not only here in Germany, also in Kenya, because we are also trying to make sure that we empower the women also back at home?
Absolutely. I want to say that to elect a leader, we all say that we're praying for the leader, but I want to encourage every woman outside there, as much as we want to pray and fast and praying for the leader, but we will have to want to make a step and say we will go and vote. So I will just urge every woman outside there, don't sit down and say, I prayed and fasted. Now, God will just bring the leader from heaven and drop him down, No, it's not going to happen like that. We have to make a step, you personal, and choose, because God honors your heart's desire, and he hears even the cry of the nation. Because one thing we want to understand, we Kenyans, that our country is a godly country, is a country whereby is a springboard of a revival. Kenya is being known for participating in the things of God so much, and even our borders, Uganda, Tanzania, they always envy us, because our nation have been always a springboard of revival. We bring so many people. We know that Rena Bonke is a German born, but how much impact, big impact he bring into our country, Kenya. So we see that as much as we want to elect the leader, we should know that leader, they're elected by God, but we have to choose. Who are we choosing at this time? And how can we choose? We have to make a decision to go and vote and say, God, this is the person we want to do. And what will this person stand for? He will make sure that our nation is going on in the things of God, that we are not going to turn back in the things of God. We are going to welcome more people from outside to come and worship God, because we believe that our nation belongs to God. Even our nation anthem, it says, just help us, God. The nation of Kenya belongs to God. So as much as we want to vote, we should put this in consideration, that we are electing, yes, but is this leader going to favor us as Christians? Is he going to favor us in terms of our meetings, our kesha? Or we will have now, or is this gospel is going to continue even in our schools? Or we will have some problems, the gospel cannot even reach to our children back at home in schools. So these are the considerations as we are going to vote. Also, we have to put it in point, and even to remind ourselves that we want even generation, because we are all raised up in this background, the religion. We all know God. I always tell people here in Germany, nobody can tell me that he doesn't know God, because we were all brought up. We were taken to Sunday school. We learn about God in Sunday school, and we grew up in that environment. So we are believing, as much we want to vote, that we're going to elect a leader that will keep our nation to be a springboard of revival. So that's all what I can say.
So powerful. That is so powerful, as leaders, as worshippers, as a country of nation where we pray. There's so much action needed as well. We need actions as well. As we always say, prayers without action is actually
Indeed.
almost dead, right? So that's why I want to welcome Karoke Karibu-san. I know you'll be coming from work, running to get in here. Welcome, welcome. We have a full house, women power. There is no other powerful house right now at this moment than being here. And if you're listening to us, join and share in the conversations we are going on. I want to hear from you as well. What does voting mean to you as a woman? It doesn't matter where you are voting for, in Germany or voting in Kenya. Write to us in the chat, and we'll be also engaging you in these comments for today. What does voting mean to you? And that's the topic we have now. And I'll go to Agnes, and after Agnes, Carol will introduce herself and then answer the same question from there. And go ahead, Agnes, in that order.
Unmute myself. I keep forgetting. Well, voting for me as a woman in Kenya, actually, politics. We are political. We women, we are political. We are politicking in our kitchen. We are politicking in our families. Actually, even when women sit down to sell sukuma somewhere. They're making politics. There's always something that is affecting us, what the politicians are doing. And I think it is high time we realize that we cannot separate politics from our lives. For me, voting for the women means they should have education. There's one thing that I realize in our country, that many people don't have education. What do I expect of the people voted in? You know, like Tante Africa said, what are they coming to do here? To learn, and then they don't implement what they learn. Like we have most of our politicians, they have studied, they've been outside the country, they have seen how the medical places work outside the country. But you will go to our country and find that most of the hospitals are not functioning. So good politics means, for me, getting those facilities in our country so our people don't have to go anywhere. Health insurance. How many Kenyans have and can afford health insurance? Not many. Even the ones who are insured, NHIF, they don't get treatment right away. Some of the treatments they get are not good. Who suffers most? Mostly the women and the children and the young and the old. I mean, most of the men are working, or some of the men are working. They can afford to pay this and that. But actually, the woman suffers the most. So actually, the woman should be in the forefront on the political arena, fighting all these inequalities. We need to fight for that. So, I mean, politics, I'm in for it because I think it's so vital for the woman, because the woman suffers most if the politics are not working in our country. So, I mean, I could say everything. And again, it's a right. The women, they also have a right to vote. And we know in many countries, even in Germany, it's not long since the women were allowed to vote. Kenyans, we are allowed to vote, and women have to vote. They have to know it's a right. It's not a privilege, it's a right. And I think there's something that we need to tell our women back home, our sisters, our aunties, our grannies, whoever is over 18 has a right and actually a responsibility to vote. Because if you want a safe country where we are investing and want our investments to be safe, we need to be involved in the voting activities. We need to know who is going into that office, who is going to run the country. It's like letting a wolf, if you know someone is not safe for you, for your house, you will not let that person into your house. So why do we let people who are not fit to rule our country to even get into those offices? So we are responsible, and the women, they should go out there and turn things upside down and get the right people into those offices.
Wow, wow. So true. I don't know about you guys, and whenever I see Kenyan TV and politician, I only see men. I don't know about you. I only see these rallies. I will go like, oh my goodness, is Kenya made of men? I mean, women. We need to get into all this if we can. And I know it's okay. We can say in the background, yeah, then do our thing. But during the voting, let's also do it as well. And I want to welcome Madam Carol Kay, the lady behind Burudika. If you have never listened to that video, you need to. And I think she's there almost every day. I can't catch up. So she's going to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself as she goes straight to the same discussion. We had just finished introducing, so you're on the perfect timing right now. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I've tried.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead. And now you muted it.
It's muting. I think it goes automatically.
Oh, no, we're okay. We can hear you now.
All right. Good evening to everybody. It's nice to see you looking good. And yeah, I think everybody there knows me. My name is Carol Kay. Yeah, the lady behind Burudika, the Burudika face. And apart from that, of course, I do so many other things on the side. I do a lot of community activities. And also I have a job also that I also do as well, apart from the radio and the TV show. And projects also back home, apart from the support that I offer to people who do projects here. So basically, I concentrate around the whole of East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, where I try to empower people in different ways. I've been concentrating a lot on people in the entertainment industry because I realized we have so much that we don't get to see, or so many people that we don't get to hear, and yet they have the possibility also to occupy that space in the entertainment industry. And of course, apart from that, the TV show basically is to empower everybody in everything that we do in life, entertainment, and career, and everything else that we do. So going back to the question about voting and the role of the women in politics, basically what I wanted to say, Agnes has said it, we really have a big role to play, because when we look at the statistics, we are told the women, we are actually the majority. We are more than even men in the population of most of the countries, or let me say all countries. So we are actually the majority, and our vote counts in a very big way, because we basically groom the community, we groom all the environments where we are in our jobs, and every system needs our support, from the family, right from our families up to where we work. So we are like a backbone to most of the things that we do. And like Joy says, also the women haven't had a very big opportunity. We have always been sidelined, or we have been given the lower portion, and yet we are told behind every successful man there is a woman. So there is that role, that importance that we have, but they tend to overlook this. So when it comes to sharing out things in the community, every community seems to sideline us. When we come to the salaries, we realize we earn less than our male counterparts. The other day, I saw countries, and even Kenya was one of them, talking about men also having maternity leave of 3 months. I don't know what they think maternity leave is. They just think women are sitting at home and enjoying themselves. They don't even realize how much role we play, even in the birth of the children. We play the bigger role. The role that a man plays is really small. It is important, but it is not as much as we do. So we actually are the ones who are running the system in every kind of a system. We are actually the backbone. So there is that need for us to have a voice, and we can only have a voice by being able to actively take part in politics. When we are given those roles, there are certain women who've taken up roles and they've really done a good job. They have tried to push, despite the fact that they are always being suppressed. People are looking down upon them. We have politician ladies who've really tried to push their voices to be heard, and they always have to use a lot of force and get aggressive. Some people think they are arrogant. They are not arrogant. It is only that people do not want to give them enough opportunities to express themselves. We are being looked at as the weaker sex, and yet we are actually the bigger sex. The men are there, but I would say even science tells us that a woman would live longer when you have no food to eat. I think we would live more days than a man. We are very tolerant, we are very patient, and we are very motherly in all the things that we do. I think maybe sometimes we are a threat to them, I don't know, but we have to keep on pushing. We have to keep on involving ourselves as much as possible. Every opportunity that we get, let us make the best out of it. Let us guide right from the children, from the young people as they grow. We can only mold a good future by empowering the younger people, so that they know that they have a space in the society. We have the African setup that has always put women in the kitchen, put women in the background, and put men as out there as the provider. But when you look at so many families, I would say even 80%, there are some families that the woman actually provides more than the man does, but they cover up the man, so that you look at a family and you think it's a perfect family, but you don't know what the role this woman plays. The woman starts some side business, but finances maybe 80% of what the life that they are living. So I think our importance has to be felt, and how, by us being active in all these spaces that we have, the opportunities that we have, let us make the best of it. The opportunity to vote, let us give ourselves the opportunity also to be able to be heard and use that as a voice. And I think for us in the diaspora, this voting, I think I'm looking at it in a different way. And I feel that it's the start of everything. When we are able to vote, we are able to push for other things. Voting is not enough for us. We have so many things that we need from our country that they should be able to also provide for us. But they can only provide for us when we can speak. And how can we speak? By expressing ourselves through our votes. Thank you so much. Yeah, Joy, back to you.
Wow. You said
Back
it's
to you.
you said it very clearly. We need to take up the role and be given that space and own it however much. And as you said, there are women on the ground, even in Kenya, they are going for political roles. They have to fight, and I'm telling you, it's really a fight that they have to be there. And sometimes, as women, we don't even support them. So it's a little bit sad that we sometimes are our own failure for our women who really need us at the right time. And I can see a lot of compliment. They are powerful, karaoke while you are talking facts. By the way, we're having governors here. Which governor country are you taking? Everybody is having a
Hello?
Am I back? Sorry, I thought I lost you guys. Yes, everyone is having, we have governors who are trying to be going back in Kenya, and we have Meru governor, we have Mombasa governor, we have Nyeri governor, we have, I keep forgetting Chebet governor. Governor, where were you again? Everybody is speaking a
I was
lot.
actually warning a Kericho, that is.
Oh, now Kerito, you have to fight with Caro. Caro, which one are you going for? Okay, governance.
I think I'll go for Nairobi.
Hey, no, we're gonna share that one. But Nairobi is big because I had taken.
I want to meet them head on.
You want where they're cooking. You know what? We make you the president.
Yeah.
We have to think big. We have to really, I mean, women, we are very powerful women if we work together. Women are known to work stronger when they're together. And it's very hard a woman on her own to work. And I can attest on that one. And all of you here, you know this, you're all leaders in your group. It's a very important role. And in the next question, before I go to the next question, and I'm engaging with all of you out there, please share. We reach more women and more girls, and we more even men as well. Let know women are waking up. We already have a governor from Diaspora already sitting up for a position in Taita Taveta, and we're having even more others in other areas. Why not you? So we're going to have just a short break, and before we go to the next topic, and then the next topic is a very important one, and I want to really look forward to you and keep checking on you again and listen to everybody else back in just 3 minutes or 2 minutes.
Niajewase. TapTap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send money quickly at the best rate. Hassle-free. Available in the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. Tumakitu.
So we are going now to go to the other part. We're already halfway through. So we are going to go straight to a question that maybe most of you are asking about in the diaspora right now. What is happening right now? Kenyans in the diaspora in Europe have been encouraged to go voting. And this is something that we should not forget about. The whole topic here is about encouraging you to go and vote in Kenya. I mean, not in Kenya, but being a Kenyan, you need some few things that you need as well before you get to. We are all going to Berlin in the embassy, Kenya embassy in Berlin. And a lot of information has been shared. And I'm going to show you a clip later on with all the details, what you need to note that you need to have. We know you need to be over 18 years old, definitely, and you need a Kenyan passport. Kindly mark that, Kenyan passport, not ID. So very important. So you have to be over 18 years old, and then you have to go there in a present. You have to be there personally there and you do the registration. and then verification and voting, which is the voting is on the 9th of August. 9th of August, that's when we are doing it. But right now, we are encouraging you to go for the registration that is happening as of Friday. Friday, guys. We only have one day tomorrow. And they already arrived. I think they are arriving sometime right now. And they're already in Berlin preparing for you guys. Some of you have already registered, and you're asking you right there. You can see there's a link that you can register. I'm gonna share it as well on the chat so that you register to book your appointment. You're not registering on the tool. The tool is just to book your appointment so that you can choose the day. As you know, there's a COVID, there's a corona going on. We need particular people to be there at a particular time because of the regulations. So it starts from 21st to 4th of February, including weekends. So book your calendar. I've had so many people already looking forward to be there as well, and also meeting up. Although be careful with the COVID restriction, we have to keep to the minimum numbers. There are not so many gatherings happening, and the registration should not take so much time. It's very, very digital-like. So don't bring your old voter's card that doesn't exist. We just need you in person and your Kenyan passport. Those are the things that you need. And all this is going to happen at the Kenyan embassy in Berlin. And they're all waiting for you as we speak right now. So the link is, I'll share it on the link down there. But as we go on, it's important to give all this information. Did I miss anything important in there? Maybe some of you can chip in, because you still have to remember that this is the whole idea why we are here talking to you guys, to encourage you to go and register as Kenyan. Anybody here want to chip on to that?
Well, you have to remind them also they have to follow the COVID regulations. They have to be vaccinated. That is the 2G rule, plus the mask has to be the PPE. 2G, I think we explained another time, and that means you either have to be have recovered from COVID, or you have the vaccination, both of them, and then you have to do a test, and this has to be not older than 24 hours. And then also the mask, I think, Joy, you will show them later. I don't have one here, but you have to have this PPE, F2, I think, mask. This is the one you have to have there. And this is not only at the embassy, this is the only mask you can use also in the public when you're driving with the train or with the buses. And in most of the shops as well, you have to have that. So if you're planning to go for shopping spree in Berlin, you need to have that one. So yeah, this is very important as well. And yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that. Anything else we've missed there as well? Also, there is a group organizing accommodation for you and in Berlin, and transport. Reach out to us as well. We're going to share the link as well here and their numbers for you to contact them. Berlin, they are ready for you to support. But the 9th of August will be very interesting for all of us as well to be there, even if even if you're not going to be voting, because some of you cannot vote, because I think in Germany, some of us only have one citizenship. And this is something we need to put on the table. We need to be given dual citizenship here in Germany. I know it is possible, but it's not the way that it is like in some countries like Nigeria. So we need to encourage that, because it's hindering most of us. And I know logistics is also an issue for most of you. You need to travel all the way to go to Berlin. And this includes the other European region countries. So someone from Sweden and from France and from all the way from even if they're coming from Greece, they still have to come to Berlin. And I know it's costly, but we really need the numbers. The numbers are very, very important, because we have been given this chance. It's the only one that has been given to us Kenyans for the first time, that you can vote in your own residential countries. This is something, it's a privilege for me, most of us, if you look at it. But let's take opportunity that we be given this chance again. If we are able to give good numbers, then they're able to come back again more organized, so that they're having a registration and voting in Stuttgart, in Munich as well, and also in France, also in Sweden. This is the whole idea of the whole activity. But if we don't show up with numbers, especially in Germany, we need you to turn up in big numbers. If you have the passport, be our voice, because the people who are voting are the people with a voice. As the people who have not voted, they don't have a voice in Kenya, because at the end of the day, it's your right to vote, and it's also your right not to vote. As any other country, voting is a personal decision. And also, and inform yourself what you're voting, because you're only voting for presidential candidate only. So look at what is there, and who are there, and what are they doing, and if you believe in their mission, especially, that it's very, very important. So I'm going back to our discussion, back to a little bit easing up here, not too much in the regulations. And I'm going to go back again to the women. I mean, for me, women are very important. It's an area I really enjoy most working, and working with women as well. But I'm thinking of you. What do you think about women, especially in Kenya, right? And also in Africa in general, about their voice? Do you think women have a voice in Africa culture, and how can we improve to encourage women to be at the table on when decisions are being made? How can we encourage her? Because the culture in our, if you all know, you are all brought up by your, I mean, you some point you're in Kenya, you also how the way your mother and your relatives, especially the women, female, are treated, is completely different than the way it is here in Europe. So how can we encourage our women back at home? I'll throw that into Madam Tante, you're quiet, and then we'll go after that. Go after that. We go to Chebe, Madam Chebet. We'll go all the way to Madam Dorcas, Pastor Dorcas, and the way back to Carol, and then Agnes. So go ahead.
I think it is very important for women to be very much engaged in politics, and mostly they should not shy away being in the front line about this. I remember when I was a small girl, when we used to, there was this about Saba Saba, when they were multi-party thing. I could see my mom going on the street, fighting, throwing stones and doing all that. And I could not understand. I was like, why is she doing all this? And she would tell us, bring all those tiles, bring the tiles, we have to burn one the other side, because she was very engaged. And that gave her even the role in the society that even the men, when the men are sitting in the doff, my mom would have a say, because she could show the power in her. And this is the only way we can prove ourselves that what they are doing, because at the end of it, we bake the whole cake, we bake for them, give it to them, and then we want them to cut it for us, and they have to share what they want to us. And it should be the other way around. We bake the cake and we cut and we give them what we feel it is their share. Because when it comes to the health issues, we women, we visit there, willingly. Because when you get pregnant, you go there willingly, men go there on circumstances, when they are sick. But for us, you can see a woman who has been in a hospital like for 10, 20, 10 times, because, they are having children there. And when the child gets sick, the men go to work, the women, you have to visit there. So at the end of it, if we don't, voice ourselves, because we know the things where it really pains most. Because when a child is sick, it is the mother who takes that child. You have to miss to go to work. You take, the fathers, they give only money. So when those men are there and discussing about the health issue, they may not have the pain that we have, because it is us that we know exactly. I remember one time, when I was giving birth in Kenya, and I compared to when I gave birth here, and I was feeling like, my God, it is, two different things. And I felt like I felt lesser pain here because I was more pampered than the pain I had in Kenya with my first child, because of the, the problems surrounding you. You're in pain and you still sleep, 4 women who are both in pain, kicking each other because of the pain, because there is not enough bed. So let us try to encourage our women that it is the time that we talk and we voice ourselves. I love women who are in politics, because at the end of it, when like our girls now, when we from Diaspora keep on, trying to form, vereins to give our girls pads and all that. Those are things that can be given even by the government because it is a necessity. But if we don't have many women, to talk about it there, to talk how it really feels to have those periods and the agony in it when you don't have a pad and you have blood everywhere and the boys keep, we need to be there. And it is only the mother, because again, when even these issues come to our children, the mother needs to know how our girls going to get these pads, how our boys going to get all these issues. So at the end of it, we need not to shy away, because the more we sit on those tables, the more we are heard. We can keep shouting outside the windows. They can decide to close and assume that we are not saying anything. But the moment you sit there on that table, you are able to see which part of cake are you getting. Are you getting the icing one? Are you getting the burnt one? Because they can give you anything because you're not there. And there's nothing that is bad. And I always tell women, as somebody have said here, that we are the many. We are the many. You see women going, when the politicians go, they like going in the marketplaces. And who are the majority there? The women. Because men mostly worked in the factories inside. The women are the ones in the vibandas and everything. So we can be heard, and we can only be heard when we make a step and come closer when they are cutting that cake. We need to be part of it. We need to be part of it, and that is me. And mostly, before I forget, because even women in Europe should always wake up, because the more we vote here, we are going to prove our numbers. Because at the end of it, even in Europe here, the women are more affected. Like now, when we have our teenage children, when it has age of 19, we need to go back again to Kenya to take those IDs. And if we hear and voice ourselves through voting, these are the things that we can say we want them at our embassy, because we know the agony of traveling. And we know, when we are very true with ourselves, most of us women came with our first children that belong to another man, mostly in Kenya. And going back, it means more problem, because you cannot run away to a problem and then you're sent again back to go to that problem and beg it. So we need to vote so that our embassies can be equipped with things that can be able to help us when we are here. Because the ID issue, I keep seeing women saying, I need to travel back with my child to go back to Kenya to apply for an ID. But if we have a chance here that we now need to vote so that they can see the number that really can talk and say, we need this such and such equipment. You guys come to us when you need our votes. So we gave you our votes. Now it is our turn, so you return the favor that we did. Because at the end of it all, it is a two-way traffic. You cannot keep on voting for people that are not bringing any change in your life. So when you vote, you must have things that you want listed that you want them to do. And that is one thing that we can also argue our case. Maybe in this platform, we may not be talking, but in other platforms that we are discussing more of the people that we want to see and the changes we want them to see. Because if I vote for you, what am I gaining for? What am I gaining for? For how long will our mothers keep going to the rivers to go and get waters? For how long, our mothers will keep giving birth? For how long will our girl child be molested in the houses and nobody is talking about all these things? So at the end of it, if we know the power that we women, we can voice when we keep voting for people and seeing the changes we want, we would go very, very, very far. Very far. I leave the stage for somebody else.
Yeah, welcome, Chevet. Throw all those energy. You want to hear everything. What can we encourage our women in Kenya as well to be part, especially in this situation that is also all going through, and as well also in other sectors, not just politics. There's so many things that we could get involved in.
Yeah, thank you so much. I remembered now as my sister was talking there, then I remember when I was growing up as a young girl, then my teacher, actually, she went to Beijing. I don't know if some of you were there during those days. There were Kenya women who went to Beijing. And when they came back with different views because of the empowerment they had received in Beijing. But sadly, these women were actually silenced in a way that, first of all, when they came back with the empowerment, with the knowledge that they had received, that they are also equal. So it took maybe some 2 years, and they were isolated in the village. So and finally they were even divorced, and they were called, oh, those ones, oh, you know, so and so she went to Beijing, oh, and then they all of a sudden they were called Beijing. And they only went there because they wanted to be empowered to learn from other people, you know, because we were used to just being in the village, or rather they were used to being in the village and teaching in the village, and some of them were in the offices, but never went outside Kenya. So they didn't know much apart from what they read. So when they went to Beijing and coming back home with all this knowledge and getting to know that, oh, women, we have a place. And now we need to take this knowledge home and empower women so that they can also occupy a place in our country. So instead of them now being encouraged to encourage other women, they were silenced. And that's what we see today, that whenever we try to do something, we are silenced. But you know, if we unite as women and vote and choose the person we know that they really care for women, then that's how we are going to make it. And it all starts with education. Actually, we need to start with our children already and make sure that we teach them that women have a place in the society. It's not the kitchen, as it is always said. You know, we always ensure that our duties are we wake the children to go to school, and then we make sure that our men's clothes are ironed and they are just hanged there, and the only thing they do is to dress and they leave, while we struggle with ours too. And then when they come back home, you've also gone to work. When they come back home, you are already there serving them. So really, we don't have much voice, but we need to claim it back. And if you don't claim something, then who will give you? Nobody will give you if you don't claim it. So we need to make sure that we have people there in the forefront representing women. And who are these people in the forefront? We are the ones. So we start by voting and ensuring that the people we vote in are the ones who actually have women in mind, are the ones who are going to give us voice, the voice to do whatever we want to do, so that we are even in the same level as men. So, and that we are able to sit and discuss with them so that we can be heard, because sometimes you can be there trying to raise a voice, to raise a point, and somebody, that's just a woman talking, you know. And those years we shouldn't be experiencing that. But if you go back home in the village, you are going to experience this, that the women are just doing the daily things which make the men's work easier, and theirs is always difficult. They keep on laboring. So what we need to do is to educate our children, so that in a few years, the women will have voices. But now we who have voices, we need to be there in the forefront and fight. You know, change is it takes a long process. But even though it takes a long process, we don't need to experience this today. We need to make sure that we set the ground, and in a few years we will be actually the ones who are actually owning everything. And then the men are the one. Why can't we trade places anyway? Why can't we trade places so that they can also feel what we've been feeling all these years? I think that would be nice. Thank you.
Thank you for that. You really nailed it on the head. We need to get those women on our rural village, and educating the girl child is a big role. But I think we're getting there. It's really, really slow, but we're seeing the changes as we are going on. So go ahead, Pastor Dorcas. Share with us what is your a way of helping us to encourage the women back in Kenya and also in Africa and with the culture to improve and make sure we are at the table. How can we improve that?
As for me, I will speak in terms of we women. We are we have the power to decide whatever we want and to be established. The Bible says that we have been given power and authority. I will just give you back the history of Esther. Esther, she was a woman like us right now, but she used the queenship authority to save his nation due to the Jews. So what I hear also, I want to tell you that who is this lady? Superior Ruth Baden was also one of the justices, and she stood, and he was always advocating that women, they should be put in the table for any discussion. Why? Because there is important when a woman stand in a gap and ask, because a woman, everything a woman does, mostly it's not because just of sympathy or anything. It's something that comes from inside the belly. If I want to see my country change, it's not, if I want to see young generation change, is because I am a woman. I can see ahead what is going to happen. Esther saw what was ahead. He knew very well, I'm being put in this position. If I'm not going to fight for my people, they will perish. And that is, I think, the motivation that all women we have every now and then. Because if we look at our mamas, they were fighting for us. They were making us to be strong. Me, I was raised with a mama who, you know, he used to wake up very early in the morning, doing all the activity. And she was tough, raising us 7 children at the same time. And I always see she had many progress, in fact, more progress than my father, because she was so determined in everything she was doing, business-wise, even ministry-wise. She was so much determined. And this is the same motto. I always say that if we women, we come together and we believe each other, because it's about the leadership. If we're going to mentor this young generation, speak about it, bringing some influence, impact them, inspire them with the things that we do, whether it is in a political arena, whether it is in the ministry, whether it is in a business area. But we impact them, we motivate them, we show them the way. We know that we have people, they already show us the way, but we have also the bigger assignment. Each one of us, we have so bigger assignment as women, to continue with the same motto, to encourage the young people who are coming, because wherever there is a Moses, there is a Joshua. So if there is you and me, there is Joy, there is Chebet, there is Tante. That means there is somebody else who's looking up to us, whether it is either in the political arena or something. There is another woman looking up to us. What are we doing? Which impact are we giving? Another thing which I'll just say to encourage every woman: unity, working in oneness. You know, because there is power when we all get together and support each other. We should not be having jealous and envying one another. No. When you succeed, I should rejoice you are succeeding. I should be happy that you're improving. You know, I should be happy that you are blessed in your own way. You are unique, because every one of us is unique in his own way. Every woman, there is a queen in a woman. That's why we are women. That's why we are having the wombs. So we should be always encouraging each other. What brings so much division? It's when we don't work in unity. And this is the most difficult part in women. We don't like seeing each other being somewhere, you know. And that is something that we should, you know, we should forget about that. We should just start a new thing in us, all of us, and say, you know what, I will embrace what you do, because what you do is so unique. I may not be you. I may not motivate the people the way you do, but maybe I've been gifted in this way. Like Sister Agnes, she just said she sings gospel, you know. So when I listen to her message in gospel, it inspires me. And maybe somebody else will be preaching, not singing, but is preaching, and also inspired somebody else. And the same thing in the political arena, that we need to inspire people to know that if we vote, if we come as collective, if we come as unity in one voice, because we have a voice, and we have to speak. As the other Tanti say, we shouldn't shy off. We shouldn't shy off to speak our minds. We shouldn't shy off to speak our wisdom and our knowledge, because people need to hear. What do you have? What can you share to other people? So when you do so, we are building communities, because we can share more skills that somebody else doesn't have. I remember there's a time I was talking to Rachel Mokazi, and that is the time even he went into the politics. But the things she was doing by then, and I know I've been coming a long way with her. We knew each other 20 years ago, and we just met in the church in Col. But in the between, we worked together in different areas, whether it's business-wise or something else. And even when she went into politics, I say, you know what? I saw you going that way, and I'm happy because you're checking that way, because we are not all called to be governors. Maybe you have a chance to be a president, and maybe you have a chance to be a pastor. We can all be the same. But just to acknowledge somebody else has taken this route and is fitting in that seat, just to encourage somebody and motivate somebody. That is what we all need, women. I think that is the area where I will encourage every woman. We worked on that, and I think we're gonna be better and better in the body of Christ. Whether it is in the political arena, we're gonna be better. Whether it is in the business, we're gonna be better and better women. That's my point.
Thank you. Wow, that message is very powerful. I think you threw there quite meaty, and I want to encourage everybody who are here. I can see Stefan, who is here as well, listening to us. Share with your network. Yes, we also have men in the house who are supporting us. Powerful message coming out from this forum. Women must take their rightful place in the society and play leading roles. Just unite and support each other. Thank you so much for that. And those people who are listening, just put your comments, you put your question. I can see there's some questions which are coming up more in the election direction in terms of voting and all that. We're gonna pick that up later, but let's stick on this because I love this panel. I don't think I only know two people here. The rest, I think I'm enjoying this more than you guys who are listening there, because the first time I'm hearing some of these, most of our guests here presenting, and they are very powerful ladies in their own area. And as you have heard, if you're good at one area, let's empower that person in that area. And if you want to go in, and if you come up with another, and there's one part that Charlie you mentioned very clearly, and I also wanted to have this roundtable put you at a challenge for all of us here, is to mentor somebody else. So pick up one person in your area that you're so good at and mentor. So I don't know whether you saw yesterday, we have the youth Victoria Kata. She's the one who I work with very, very closely to make sure that you make a look at who is that person who is doing well in the area you are in and supporting. So I encourage each one of you, Pastor Dorcas, you put it there. Pick up a youth member in your church community, 20. I think you can do very well with 20 of them. And try to encourage them in that area.
I've been doing that.
Exactly. And Chebet as well, Tante Africa, that's why you are Tante, because you have so many children. Because Tante, you don't have it if you don't have so many. And it's so important for that. And as we go on with this discussion, I let you, Carol, to also throw in your powerful information there, encouraging the women back at home. And you're going to be winding up very shortly, but let's have that and then have Agnes as we go back to our main mission of today, of encouraging people to go to register.
Yeah, basically what I wanted to say, like I said, when you come towards the end, most of the points already spoken about, but what I would like to say is the biggest problem that we have, especially the women who are back home, is this the complex feeling. I think our society, where we come from, has not given the women that opportunity to realize that they are important, that they've given them that setup where they are dependent on men. They are being told they have to be submissive. It is okay to be submissive, but it is wrong to be over submissive until you forget yourself. They've not realized that they are important as a person before other people. They've not realized they need also to give a lot to themselves. If you can look back home, you realize that women work and work and work and work. They don't even have a break. Everybody's gone to bed, they are still working. They are the first to wake up. They don't have time for themselves. They don't have, they are just around the clock. And nobody even stops them and says, hey, can you take a break? Hey, can you sit down? I'll do the food. Hey, can you go out with your fellow ladies and just talk? So we have not been given that opportunity, and the women have embraced it, and they are encouraging it to go on. I think enlightening the women is the biggest thing that is very important in our society, to realize yourself, to identify yourself, and to appreciate yourself. That is where the change begins. When you realize we've come into another part of the world where we have that chance to be treated differently, to be given that feeling that you matter, that you're important. And that is why we can realize that we need these spaces. We need our voices to be heard. We've had our women who've pushed into politics back home, and you've seen sometimes they are being intimidated even in public by their male counterparts. But what do? We think it's funny, and people are laughing about it, and we are sharing these videos. We are not seeing the mistake in it all. It is really the biggest problem that we have, is that enlightening our people. Even in our voting, we still do the same mistake. We keep on voting the same people all the time. Why? Because we do not realize where the mistake is. And even when we do not have that courage to say it is not going to go like this anymore, because we feel that we have to be submissive. And this is where I say there is where the mistake begins, because people misunderstand this word. They think being submissive is crawling on somebody's ground. Even when they are stepping on my neck, I don't say anything because I have to be submissive. But this is where we have to educate these women. We have to enlighten them, give them these opportunities, those who are able to interact with them. And I think it's something that is going to go over with the generations. It is changing. Things are changing slowly, but I'm sure at some point we'll get there. We've seen some of the things that used to happen during our days when we went to school, for example. We had really heavy punishment, but things are changing with the generations. And I'm sure when we enlighten the people who are coming in our generation and after our generations, the more we enlighten them, the more they grow up with a different mind, with an open mind. They realize that there is that need to treat everybody right. Everybody deserves it. Everybody has a right to it. But we do not realize that. We think that if I'm a woman, I'm just supposed to be serving. Yes, I'm supposed to be serving, but I also need space. So this enlightening of the women is for me the biggest point, and also to make them accept the fact that we can do these things. We have the possibility, we have the ability, we have the intelligence, we have the ideas. And like they say, you give a woman a house, she'll make a home out of it. You give them some little money, they will make something big out of it. So we have that possibility. We have that ability to think extra. We have that ability to care, but we need that space that allows us to use these powers that we have. And this we can only do when we encourage each other. We talk to each other. We explain why we need some of these things. When you go home, you find a pregnant woman going to the river, carrying things on the head, carrying firewood, and we are told it's not healthy, but they are doing it because nobody even stops and says, hey, that's too much for you. We just think that's what a woman should do. And somebody praises and says, yeah, you're woman material, you're tough. There is nothing about overpraising, using of yourself, overusing of your body. You just have just one life. So we also have to have our men supporting us. And that is the only way we can come out of it, because they want to take the little that we already have. So if they are not working with us together, then we are still going to come around and around and around the circle. And I like the way it is coming in the direction of FGM. The men are coming out and saying, no, this thing is not right. We have to stop this. And that is why FGM is getting that publicity, and it is becoming slowly eradicated in certain communities. They are understanding the importance of not doing it. So I think we need the support of our men in our role in the society, for them to realize that we are supposed to be their helper. We are not supposed to be their servant. We are supposed to be helpers, so that we work with each other, we support each other, and we walk with each other. And I'm sure that is when we shall be able to move. So we are not only going to empower the women, we need to empower even the young boys as they grow up. We make them realize that the women's role is important, and why we have to treat them right, just the way we treat ourselves. If we don't get this selfishness out of the men, we are going to empower the women. But when they come out, I don't know who spoke about this and talked about Beijing. These women came with these ideas. They came with all this, but when they came back, they couldn't use them after a while. Everybody just looked down upon them. And even the women who were there were telling them, yeah, this thing can't work here, not in this society, because we are not enlightened. So I believe we need to start by that. And then there was one thing that I also wanted to mention. Joy, you mentioned about elections and about the numbers, but there is a place where I beg to disagree. I really beg to disagree about IEBC telling us that if we don't produce the numbers, they are not going to give us another chance. It's not a chance, it's our right to vote. And they have to realize that they have let us down. If they were able to prepare themselves enough for us and properly for us, I'm sure the numbers would be big. Nobody leaves Nairobi to go and vote in Mombasa. They bring those voting points as near to you as possible, and they fund that. I was watching one of our presidential candidates speaking yesterday and talking about people going to register and vote. And he said the commissioners are going to work, even if it means they're working up to night, they will pay them. If they can do that for them, this is where we have to tell them where they have failed us. We have to use our voice and tell them when the numbers are low, it is not our fault. One, they didn't tell us in good time. Two, they have not prepared themselves well enough for us. One station is not enough for Europe. Whichever way they want to look at it, it is not. If they gave us even 4 or 5, I'm not saying they have to give us 100, but make them as convenient as possible so that we can exercise our right. And they have funds for that, and we have a right to vote. So we are not going to compromise about them telling us we have no numbers. We have the numbers, but they have not done their part. Yeah, I think that's all.
I like that. I like that. We have the numbers, but they don't have the right tools. Sorry, there's a noise. Did you say something?
No, I just said we have the numbers and we are capable. There are so many people who have the Kenyan passport, but they are looking at how it is going to inconvenience them. It's not even only about money. 3 days out of your whole plan, you probably have small children you have to leave behind to go to Berlin. What happens to them that day you've traveled to Berlin? You're probably a couple who are both Kenyans and you both want to vote. What happens to your family? There are certain things that, when it is convenient for people in Berlin, for example, it's okay. I walk to the station, to the embassy and do my thing and I come back home. But for somebody who's coming from wherever, I think they should have been a little bit more considerate. That's what I feel. So yeah. I really do not agree with them giving us the numbers as an excuse. They have to do better for us, and we have to speak about this. I think we also have to express that, and this is where we have to start from this. We have to give them a feedback and tell them we need better. They need to do better for us. And then also apart from that, passport and IDs, they have made the decision that we are using the passport. That is what is gazetted. But they should have also sat down and looked at alternatives, because there are people who are waiting for their passports. They have, and they are waiting for them to come. If they had another way of identifying themselves, I wasn't seeing why it was so difficult for them. There's no way somebody would be here and, you have maybe your passport waiting for and you cannot vote. It is not your fault that it has not come. Even if we are told we had the time to do them, we've had a lot of challenges in exercising this. I went to Kenya, I don't know how many times. So many people have traveled so many times to go and sort these things out. So I think there are certain things that they really have to look at before they make the decisions. Like they said, In Kenya, they can do it with both. There is no reason why they cannot do it with both for us too.
Exactly, exactly. And I agree with you fully on each and every point there. And we are looking forward to putting a report saying exactly what we would have wanted. Things could have run completely different another way, and we are happy anyway. Once one part of it is because we are allowed to be part of this. Actually, Germany was not part of it, was just put again because of we have numbers in terms of the foreign affairs in Kenya gave the numbers. That's why Germany was chosen and not maybe other countries. Actually, there's so many countries that have been left out. So it's their first time. We understand that. It's not, we don't have to vote to impress the IEBC. Voting is a personal thing. You have to vote it yourself. The numbers are important, especially when we come to speak up. So, for example, if your organizations here, you know how many numbers you are, especially that you can give the numbers in terms of something happening, we need to react very quickly. Then things like this would have happened very much faster. This is the data I'm talking about is between ourselves as diasporans here in Europe and especially in the country. So it's so important for that. But before we go to that part, because I want us to go deeper into that before we close, and we're gonna give ourselves a bit of time for that. But let me let Agnes to also point on that session, and then we now wind up with the general part of what is the matter we are here today.
Oh, okay. Actually, I don't have to say much because a lot have been said and everything is very, very relevant and it makes a lot of sense. And there are so many things that we can say about our women. I respect the African woman back home because they go through a lot to bring food to the table, to make sure their families function, even to support the country that is not fully supporting them. So I think it's something that we can be thankful that the women are there because without that, the backbone would be missing. So, but I thought about our parts. I mean, many of us are doing some actions back home. We are supporting our people back home. But I think the issue of mentoring, like you mentioned, is very important. But also back home in our villages, we need to start mentoring our people about their rights and their what they need to do. Even the women, like Carol K said, most of them are silenced. Chebet said, Madam Chebet said also, many are silenced. The women, we need to let them know, or we need to help them. I don't know how we can mentor them. How maybe we can start girls groups or women groups or whatever to get them to learn that, or we can have people. I mean, if you're thinking of how to support the community, you can have people, you invest some small money and have someone go do political education in the villages where we come from. I mean, instead of, I don't know, buying some food, you can invest a small money. That's how we could help even our communities to learn what are their political rights, what can they expect from the people they are voting in, what type of a leader do I need, what can he help me with, so that they don't go blindly. You know, we all know what's happening there. They go get some unga bought for them, they get some mafutas bought for them, but that will be like a meal for 2 3 days, and then this is gone, and then they vote in someone who is going to close and block their ways for the next 5 years, which is not fair. It's not a fair deal. So we need, maybe for us also, as we think of mentorship, how we can do that as women to the other women back in our villages, so that they are educated and know why do I need to vote so and so. It's not because it's from my tribe or from my clan or from whatever, but because he can deliver this and this and this and this. So we need that education. We need, maybe we can be involved somehow, maybe not directly, because I think our people also are a bit sensitive. That's why the issue of Beijing did not function so well. They are very sensitive to ideas coming from outside. So when I come as someone who lived here many years and start to tell them, they think I'm lording it over them. But we have to be wise and find ways how we can get that done, the mentoring process done, without them feeling like we are looking down on them, you know. And I think those are things we can do with investing very little facilities or material help, where we can maybe educate the people about the political right. This is something that has been cooking in me for so long, because I think, why is it that we are always voting in people who are not doing anything for our country again and again and again? or even they get there and all they do is make themselves rich, but the country is going down the drain, And so I think it has a lot to do with the education also of the masses. What is expected? What needs to be done? Yeah, I think that's all I could say for now. I could talk forever about it, but I think a lot has been said
Thank
and
you.
I support it.
You said it all. We need to vote. I mean, even the people from the country, in the continent, in Kenya, as we know, seems to be not so many registrations going on in the continent as well, whatever the reasons. And here, Diaspora, we really are the voice to also, if you're taking part in voting, it's our voice, as you said, Agnes. We can go back there and educate our people. We are community builders. All of you here, I'm sure you have invested in your own area, country. Why would they not listen to you? So speaking up to the people on the ground, explaining and expressing to them why it's important to vote so that we get the right people. Not voting doesn't help as well, because the people who you don't want are going to vote. So at the end of the day, we'll end up going in circles. So that is very important. So before we go to the questions, I'm seeing questions here and we wind up. I'm going to put a message here so that it answers a few of your questions for those people who are preparing to come to vote, to register and to verify. We had a message here sent, which was shared by our Balozi here in Germany, also shared on WhatsApp groups and everywhere else. So I'm going to share this message, which will give you a little overhead what is expected, especially if you're going to Berlin. So watch this, and we'll be back after that.
From a cold and snowy Berlin, here on Wednesday, 12th January 2022, I welcome you to the Embassy of the Republic of Kenya in Germany. I convey my warmest New Year greetings from my team to you all and your families. Today, I would like to announce the registration of voters in diaspora from Friday, 21st January 2022 to Friday, 4th February 2022. As we carefully maneuver around the strictures and challenges that COVID-19 pandemic has imposed on us, my team and I here in the Embassy of Kenya in Berlin will continue to serve you efficiently and with a smile, especially as we anticipate a peaceful, prosperous, and productive and busy year. An important priority for us this year will be the general elections on Tuesday, 9th August 2022. We are happy that the IEBC, Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, has moved quickly to further enable us in diaspora to vote in these elections. Last year, the IEBC sent a team here in Berlin to ascertain our readiness to host the registration exercise and the elections. Kenyans in diaspora are deeply delighted that we were chosen, and I can confirm we are ready for both exercises. The diaspora and its myriad organization will, together with the IEBC, manage the process. On Friday, 21st January 2022, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and again from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., the voter registration exercise in Europe will commence here in Berlin, Germany. It will end on Friday, 4th February 2022. The address of our embassy, our new premises, is Ryan Babena Lane, 49 14199 in Berlin. The exercise will exclusively be run by IEBC and their chosen representatives in the diaspora. The embassy's role is facilitative, yani kuwezesha IEBC ifanye kazi yake. In order to facilitate the exercise, Mr. Alexander Njuguna Karuma and Mr. Isaac Mamojima will be the point of contact and interlocution with the embassy. They can be reached via telephone at 49 170 565 3817 or via the email on registration@kenyaembassyberlin.de. Wakenya wenzangu, this is a historic occasion. It's a historic opportunity. Let's make good use of it. I exhort, I entreat my fellow diasporans to come out in large numbers and register to vote, and eventually to vote. Now, our website is www.kenyaembassyberlin.de and will reflect details of the arrangement and others, as will the Facebook and Twitter handles of the embassy. For now, warmest salams, karibuni balozi wa Kenya Ujerumani. Mimi mfanyikazi wenu naitwa Toma Molo, balozi wa Kenya Ujerumani. Asanteni sana.
Well, there you go. Full information there. I hope you had your papers and pen to write it down. If not, don't worry. On this particular page, the Africa Diaspora United Organizations in Europe, you're going to have all that information on the Facebook page. You can already check on that so that you don't miss out on anything that is going on. There's so much, as I said, we only have one day. One day has been left as we speak. Tomorrow, on Friday, is the kick. We start everything on Friday. So I'm encouraging you, as we've been having countdowns. So the countdown is one day, only tomorrow is left. So if you're planning to go, and I hear very well what Carol K is saying, the time, they organize everything could have been managed better. The time limit is very short. The decisions were also made very late, but we can only encourage those people who are able to do it, and we really appreciate if you can do it. As I said, it's an opportunity and it's your right to vote. And their work of the IBC is to enable, and also the embassy will say the kuwezesha kazi ya IBC. That's what they'll be doing. But we are very, very excited. So before we close, we go one more round with the closing part shot from you guys. And I'm sure you have so much, because and in between there, also there's one part I always like to ask, the challenges, but today I'll leave that one to the next topic, because challenges are very important, because that's where you learn how you can improve, and also see that you're not the only one having challenges. Everybody else goes through these challenges and how they overcome them. So we're gonna put this topic aside for now because of time, but I want you to see how you can wrap it out, and also mentioning about your challenges and how you overcome them as you wind up the topic for today. So I'll go on the stage to start with Agnes. You're the last one, so you start again, and you go all the way backwards as we close for today. And I've seen so many comments put down there. And before I allow Agnes come, and there was a question: do we have the presidential candidate list already? If yes, will be good to have it, so as we can plan ourselves accordingly. This one you need to do like a research and a proper reading, finding out what each person is and what they do before even you decide to vote. Because even if I give you the list, you need to go and do the research and find out, are they speaking towards what you wish? And these already out, the presidential candidates. You can see that also in the IEBC. I believe it's all there. You can already start, and I shared the website as well, so that you get all the information that you need from the IEBC. It's very simple, www.iebc. That one is for the registration, but I'm going to share with you the real one, iebc.or.ke. iebc.or.ke. That's where you get a lot of information for what is going on, and even how to register, even when you want to book for registration as well. It's also on the IEBC page, as you can see that the cvr.iebc.or.ke. That's where you register for a booking, not registration for voting, but registration to book appointment to go to Berlin, to be able to, and also not only Berlin, there are also UK, US, all this action is going so many places, Qatar, Also, United Arabs are also doing the same. So we are not the only ones here in Europe. So it's a big action going on. And we are also happy to have been included. Not all countries were included, only very few, but we hope this is an improvement for next time. I think that was the only question I can see that was out. The rest has been answered by the ambassador's speech. Those in Italy, what's the question? Why those are in Italy? Yes, you're all welcome. The direction is Berlin, Germany. That's where we can vote and do and register as well as verification. So guys, you have to go 3 times. So the first one is to register, which is on the 21st. Very important that the 21st, that is Friday, that is coming as we speak right now, all the way to 4th of February. That's when you need to register. And then there is March, when around March, they'll give us the date where you go to do the verification to verify that you are the one, you're still the person voting. And then on 9th of August, that's when the voting is really happening. And it will be in a nice weather. Berlin, August, I think is a very nice time that they chose, not in winter. So we are looking forward to also to be there. Most of us will be there, whether we voted or not. It's good to come and celebrate with those ones who managed to do it and be united. So I will let you start, Agnes, so that we can close the day.
Since we are closing, I just wanted to say on one thing. We women are working very hard, especially we women in diaspora. I know Kenyan women, we are working day in, day out. I know some who have 2-3 jobs, especially in America. I know they do a lot because it's easier. But here also, people are working like crazy, being insulted in their jobs, being mistreated in our jobs and all that. And then you go and invest and build your empire back home. Now, for you to enjoy your empire back home, even in peace and security, you need a stable government. And that means you need to vote in the right people. That means you have maybe invested a lot of money to build those empires, and you need them safe. You need them not in rubble like we have seen in some of the Arab countries where there is war because of the warlords not agreeing with each other, and those people who invested there, they've lost what they invested. We don't want that to happen to our country. That should be the motivation, even to invest, whatever you'll invest, to go to Berlin and vote for the right government, because you are securing your investment back home. You're securing your empire back home if you vote in the right people. So for me, I would say it's not just for those people back home, it's for us as well, because we are investing, we're working here like crazy and trying to invest back home, but we want it safe, we want it to secure, we want to be going home and feeling safe and having peace. So we need to vote here so that we can secure what we enjoy here and make it even better. So I would really encourage everybody to encourage everybody else around them to go and register and then eventually vote on the 9th, because it's a way of securing what you have invested back home. I always have this connection together, because without a secure home, everything we've invested there is gonna be rubble, and we don't want that. So, and the other thing is also, as we campaign or as we go vote, let us encourage our people to keep peace, because it's so important. We can go here and vote and register, but if there is no peaceful voting back home, everything will be disrupted, and then our efforts here also will be useless. So let's try not to incite each other. Let's be loving to each other. I had the other times when there was voting, even some communities here had some wrangles on tribal basis. I think it's not very wise. We need to hold together and build our nation together. It doesn't matter which tribe we come from. We are all important as Kenyans. That's my message for now. Good evening.
Thank you for that. Carol, okay.
This thing keeps on unmuting me again. Yeah. So I don't have much to say. Basically, I've said so much already. I just want to thank everybody for your time and for everything that you've said. They are quite important, and I'm sure those who are listening or those who are watching have learned 1 or 2 things. They have something to pick from it. And also, maybe finally, I would just want to say that as we go back into our people who we are encouraging to take this opportunity to go and vote, let us encourage them to look at the bigger picture, and also particularly for the people in the diaspora, let us use this as a starting step and use it to be able to voice out all those things we've mentioned, like dual citizenship and all those other things that we really need. Let us use this as an opportunity to voice ourselves out. And also, finally, I would like to say, let us encourage our people to be self-dependent. I think the biggest problem we have back home is being dependent. It makes somebody unable to make independent decisions, and that is why the politicians are capable of, coming with even something that they need for maybe even 50 bob, and they are convinced with that because of desperation. So when we encourage them to do something, like they say, even when we support our people at home, let us teach them how to fish than to fish for them. You give them €1,000, they will spend it in 3 days. Money that somebody has not worked for. They don't know how to, take care of it. But when they work for it, if you invest, help them to work, generate money by themselves, they are able to be self-dependent, and therefore they are not dependent on other people. And this makes it difficult for them to make their own decisions. So let us do that as we talk to our people back home. Let us also encourage them when we meet them, when we interact with them, when we mentor them. Let us give them the importance, and also not make them depend too much. We support our families. That is one thing that we do. But there's one thing that we don't realize. What happens if you're not there tomorrow? So we have to let them realize that we can give them, but where are we also getting it from? We also have to make them realize that we have to work to get these monies. So we encourage them to do something and be self-dependent, so that they are not waiting. You're waiting at the end of the month, Joy is under salary, and on the first, there's a call coming. Yeah, when am I getting the money? So, let us teach them that self-dependence. It reflects back to everything that they do. It makes somebody independent, not only financially, but also in decisions, and also as an individual. I think that's all that I can say for now. Otherwise, thanks everybody again, and nice evening to everyone. Back to you, Joy. Joy has gone off.
There, yeah.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
you
Yeah,
there?
go ahead. I'm here.
Okay.
Go ahead, Quebec.
Oh, yeah. So, fellow Kenyans, during this time of registrations and campaigns, I would like to appeal to you that please go for political ideologies, and let us rise above tribal politics. Let's not be that cheap. Let's continue being united, loving each other, because we love each other in before election. So why should we fight after election? So let's go for ideologies. Let's not think about our neighbors or the tribal, as I said. And I'm actually grateful for this opportunity to vote in diaspora, even though it's not what we are expecting. But we should be grateful that this opportunity, it's just but the start, and then we can now raise our demands. So let's be grateful and appreciate what we have as of now. And for people at home, we work hard for you. So please work hard for us at home. And I want to thank each and every one of you. It's been very, very interesting to listen to all the discussions. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well. Dorcas, Pastor Dorcas. You're muted.
Okay. As for me, I will just say that it was amazing to come together and to speak out our voice. And for our viewers who are watching us right now, we will just encourage you to take your time. I know it's very it's for those people who are living far away. Even me, I'm living in Heidelberg, and I know how it is. 5 hours to sit on the train. or to drive, it's a long distance. But because we love our nation, because we love our country, and because we want some changes, lazima tu tutaingia hizo train na tuende na turegister na turudi tena na tena tuende tunini. Why? Because we are doing that because we want some changes in our country. We want the best. Every one of us wants the best. Another thing, I want just to speak peace. Peace in our nation, peace in diaspora. For those who are in diaspora, let's conduct this thing with just peace and loving and caring, and tusitonyeshe zile vidonda zilikuwa zimepona, because we know many people, they went through a lot. Some people they don't talk, but some people you meet with them, they tell you details, you just get into tears. So we should not tonyesha hizo vidonda. Let us try as much as we can to have peace. And for those who are believers, tulilie Mungu, kwa sababu hii nchi ni yetu. Tumlilie Mungu kwa maombi, kwa magoti. Tuite Mungu atetee nchi yetu, kwa sababu nchi yetu ni nchi ya Kenya, na God loves our country and loves us so much. So for those who are believers, it doesn't matter which religion you are coming from, whether you are a Bundu, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, let us come together and pray to God that God ata intervene na peace ya God itaonekana kwa nchi yetu. That's what I can say for now. And thank you so much for having me this evening. God bless you so much.
God bless you. You're a blessing every time. Now that I hear you every day, you're a blessing to us also. Go ahead, Tante Africa.
Okay.
You're muted.
Yeah, thank you. Wow, it has been a very, very encouraging forum that we've had here. But for me, the parting shot will be all said and done, it all turns to us as individual. We can keep on saying about this and this, but it is you as in person. And because you can only point a finger to somewhere you invested. If you don't teach yourself to vote when it's needed to, regardless of what situation it is, then you don't need even to open your mouth and say this government is not working. Because at the end of it, you never voted for anything there. The other thing is that we should also try and change our mentality as in person. Because anytime there comes some changes from the government, we are the first one. Always, either we are against it without good reasons, or we don't just want to do it because we feel lazy even to move from one point to another step. I was just thinking the other day, everybody is saying now, maybe they should be given the opportunity to vote using the ID card. And I'm here seated and I say, you people, sometimes you need to, to look beyond that, because if I can remember very well, we were given a chance to register for Huduma number that was to replace the ID number. And most of the people, again, were against this. And that was a government issue. So if you could have been given today an issue that you've been told the Huduma numbers that we told you people to go and register are the ones to be used to vote, then many would have been locked down just because they decided at that time they will not move forever there to go and register. So if you want to be part of the government, you also need to move with the pace it is going with. So regardless, you find it's not favoring you, it's not for you, you need to go with that pace, because at the end of it, it is the government. And when you can only come to argue your case after you've done what they said. Because if we were given that chance now to say, we are voting with the Huduma number, most of the Kenyans, even in diaspora, would have not voted. So let us always put it is not about those people, it is about me. If I need any change, it has to start with me. If I can only point a government that have voted in, I can only shout to the loudest to a member of parliament that I voted in. So because if you never vote, your conscience should always tell you that you never did the right thing, because maybe that one vote could have given a chance. So encourage our people to go vote. It is their right. It is the only way that we can have change. A change does not come within one day. It cannot maybe help us the change we want, but it can help the generations that we are having. It can help our children, and maybe not our children, but our children's children. But at the end of it, it will still come back to us. So I wish you a nice evening. It was nice to see new faces that I've never seen. And I've had so many nice input, and God bless you so much. And at the end of it, Kenya is our motherland. We'll end up all of us there. Barikiweni sana.
Thank you so much, all of you. You've been such a blessing to all of us here. I've learned also a lot from all of you, and I'm seeing here we have so many people commenting there. There's a long. I'm just gonna go through some of the comments as we go, as we wind up, because it's important to involve our wish. We wish we could have allowed to vote online, those outside Germany and any other polling station, to avoid the inconvenience involved, bearing in mind also the COVID regulation. Yes, it's a tough time for all of us, and we hear you, and we are putting all these feedbacks back to the IEBC, because we have been working with them very, very closely throughout since November last year. And we are happy that you are in this. So I can see this is those in Italy. You're also welcome. I can see here money is big problem. 50 bob, 100 bob votes to wrong people. Yes, we don't want to be bribed for voting. Be smart, be clever, and make sure you vote the right person and do your homework. Women are the core of the society, so our voices must be heard. Thank you very much for pointing out all these comments that I can see coming up from here, from all of you. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time and effort in educating us. We also thank you for listening to us as well. I'm going to run for governor in western part of Kenya as women representative in Vihiga. Yes, go for it. County pamoja tunaweza. See, that's so true. You want it, go for it. Don't wait anybody to give you permission for anything. Our mentor way of thinking is that once you put it in your brain and you say it with your mouth, nothing can stop you. So great topic. I salute Karen Nyamu, who is heavily pregnant and fighting for the Nairobi seat. Power women. You see, powerful women. Nothing should stop you. Pregnancy has never stopped any African woman, as far as I know. They always do whatever they have to do, because there is no other option. We are very, very unique. And I say this also here in Germany, lived here for 1 of my years. African woman is a unique woman. Is a very determined woman and a special woman when it comes to the economy and development. So we appreciate you, all of you, as well. Yes, asking for the maternity leave for men. One is one of the most stupid thing I have heard. Sorry, I can imagine. It happens there. We do get that. It's not something strange here in Europe. Also, they get maternity leave. So this is not something very wrong. It happens also here, but here it's where they really, really maximize it as well by supporting the women at home. And most of you here know how it is raising children in Europe. It's not the same as raising children in Africa. And kudos to all of you women in Europe who are raising children. And I always say I have a degree in raising children, because back at home we are raised by other people. You all know that, right? So we know all the pain and the that's another topic of another day. It's very, very close to me when it comes to that. And we're pretty powerful karaoke while you are talking facts. Very true. Well, I love this topic, and we must fight for our right as women in politics as well, because we are the front side of everything. Well, it's now time to wake up and get our top team, Germany, hoye. Let's go and vote and get more of our strength. Thank you so much. There are so many comments there. I can't go through all of them. We appreciate you, appreciate your time. You came in here, those people who listen to us now and later. The main thing, we need to vote. We need to go and register. And I will be so much emphasizing, if you can, you are allowed to do it, and you have the possibility to do it. And we are talking of one day now, it's already gone. We're almost midnight, so it's actually on Thursday. On Friday, that's the time the voting starts. The timing has been mentioned very clearly. It's during the office hours. And anyway, if you haven't even registered, that's what another thing. If you run out and you got the message very last minute and you still want to go and register and you didn't book an appointment, I'm sure they're not going to shut the door for you. They will still allow you to go there and vote, so long as the COVID restrictions are kept and distance, and make sure that you be there on the timings. Don't forget, it is on Saturday and Sunday, 21st all the way to 4th of February. Make sure that so it's up to you. I'm gonna make you, all of you, ambassador to go and share this with somebody else. At the end of the day, it's awareness to know that the country, Kenya, has given us the opportunity, so that next time when you hear this, you know what you need to do. You know you need your visa. Hopefully we'll get ID. I'm not so sure about that one. You're gonna get your Kenyan passport right now. You need to be there in person. You have already the basic, because some of you have left the country for a long time. You have no idea some of the information in there. Go do your homework, guys. This is the time you need to go and get engaged in the continent. Get to know who is the president, who is the prime minister, what is expected of them, what are their aims and their wishes. And when they're coming, because they're going to come after registration, tell them you know them, so that you can have a good discussion with them why you need to vote for them. And I'm sure they're coming. So thank you so much. Have a good evening, and let's catch up again. We are all engaged here in our WhatsApp group. I'm going to share with you. Follow us as well on the FB page. We have our page that we've created because of this unity that you're seeing around here with all these women and powerful men. They're coming tomorrow on a different platform, but we're going to share it here on the platform. Please check on Africa Diaspora Union and of Organization in Europe page. It's a page because it's open for everyone. Follow it. Information is already thrown there as much as we want to go to Berlin, if you want to go to book a hotel, there's discounts put there by one of our team. Check on that. Tomorrow there's another show. That's our last show tomorrow after registration. And I think we have done a good work. Women, congratulations for being part of this long journey. Give yourself kudos. Let's continue sharing karaoke. You still have your radio show tomorrow and the next day. Please just go ahead and share the word. And well as Stuttgart on Sunday, let's appreciate all those people. Keep telling them to go even if they haven't booked the day, because you can still do the 15 days. Doesn't mean we shut down at 21st. You can still do all the marketing all the way to the 4th of February. So we appreciate you all. So good night and see you again next time tomorrow, same time on this platform. Bye for now.
Bye.
Niajiwase. TapTap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send money quickly at the best rate. Hassle-free. Available in the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. Tumakitu.